Hey viewers, welcome back to Andy's Garage. Hey, in the garage today, I have this Stihl FS 56 weed eater. Guy said that it's hard to start, and when it does start, it's hard to keep running. It's been in storage for the last several years. Fuel stabilizer, nothing like that has been ran through it. So I told him I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swap the carb on it, because I guarantee you that's the problem. I went ahead and ordered a carb. I'm not even going to tear this apart, because I can guarantee you you're going to have carb issues, especially if something sits around for several years with ethanol fuel in it. So anyway, that's what we're going to work on today, and I'm going to take you with. All right, viewers. I'm going to start off by taking this air cleaner housing off, and this is a T25. And I already verified the complaint, so that's why I said that's why we're going to go ahead and do this carb. Those diaphragms are probably shot inside there, and back years and ago, I would have rebuilt this thing, but nobody really does that anymore. It's not even worth their time anymore. You can get these carburetors fairly inexpensive anymore. All right, I took these two nuts off here, and those were an 8mm. And I'll pull this breather tube off. There you go. Come on. And that breather tube just went right on here. And this is the tube I'm talking about right here. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and take this carb up a little bit, pull on this throttle cable. I'll get my finger in there, and there you go, activate that throttle. And just pull this throttle cable out. There we go, just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and remove these fuel lines. Now it sucks being blind like me, because certain projects the distance of them, there you go. I gotta have bifocals. I ain't getting bifocals. And certain projects, like it's at that certain distance where I look over my glasses and I can't see, but I look through my glasses and I still can't see. Alright, now this is the fuel line here. It goes to the primer bulb. Alright. And this green fuel line here, I'll show you. If you didn't relieve the pressure out of the fuel tank on this green one here, you'd have fuel spraying everywhere. Anyway, that's what the carb looks like. This is the new one I bought. Get that there you go. Everything looks the same. I already looked it over earlier. Everything looks identical. Alrighty, now for the fun part. Getting it all back together. Get this first fuel line here. And these fuel lines actually look like they're in really good shape still, so I am not going to replace them. They are still in good shape. Alright, I'm going to try to get this throttle cable out of here. Come on, baby. There you go. All right. Sometimes these can be a little tricky to get in. Whoop. These can be a little tricky to get in sometimes. Jeez, I can't grab the cable. There we go. Oh, come here. There we go. Alright. Sometimes these things just snap right into place, and sometimes they want to fight you. Come on. Holy scamoles, go in the dang gone hole. Yeah, let me pull this out a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Holy smokes. Straddle this thing. Wow, why are you fighting me? There we go. Holy smokes. That one wanted to fight me. Alright. Go ahead and grab this fuel line way down in here. There we go. There we go. Alright. Wow. Tell you what, that thing did. Whoa. She was not going to go in there. And usually those linkages, like I said, sometimes those tire linkages can fight you. Sometimes they snap right into place. Anyway, alright. There's that. Be careful with these nuts because they are small. You can easily drop them and roll around in your shop and you'll never find them. Alright, there's that. Punch out the knockout on that air filter. And these air filters, they have a special design, so they only go in one way. Put that new air filter in there. And put this cover back on. We're going to go ahead and replace this fuel filter. Work it loose a little bit there. There we go. There we go. Drop her back in there, like so. Hey viewers, hey, I was just thinking about something. I'm going to do a little bonus footage, whatever you want to call it. Got thinking I'm going to show you something here. And this is another common problem you'll see on things like weed eaters and even on chainsaws. And that is the spark arrestor. Some are easier to get to than others. It looks like this one here, we're going to have to disassemble some stuff here. I'm just going to take this thing apart here. This isn't the problem with this machine, but this is a problem you see a lot of times, and it's mainly when you have issues with it bogging when you hit the throttle, because that spark arrestor becomes plugged and the exhaust gases can't pass out of the combustion chamber, so it bogs down. And bogging is not an issue on this one. This one is, it's just hard to start and runs like a turd. But that's what happens when you let this stuff sit forever too. That screw will have to fall out. Can't get to it. So yeah, so if you ever have a weed eater or something like that and it just bogs down when you're hitting throttle, a lot of times people think it's fuel delivery, but in actually a lot of cases it's, let's take this hole, there we go. Oh, you come out. Nope, you're gonna stay in there, ain't you? Alright. Alright, we'll just pop this cover off here. There we go. This way we can have better access to this muffler. Because you got to take this muffler off in order to get to that spark arrestor. Wow, all of a sudden, man, it's just gotten hot in this garage. Ooh. I'm waiting for the grass to dry out because we had a heavy dew this morning and I need to mow the backyard. I got the front yard mowed yesterday before my men's meeting. Anyway, muffler, and this is the screen back here. That's that spark arrestor. Just take your screwdriver and just take that screw out. Oh, I'm just getting ready to say don't lose it, and I almost lost it. Alright. Just pop that screen out. And this one's got a little bit of gunk in her, but it's not too bad. So anyway, how you clean these things out, you can use a wire brush if you want. But what I like to do is just burn it out. Just get a torch. Burn it out. All that is just the carbon buildup because you're running, obviously with the 2 cycles, you have an oil in your fuel. There we go. I had just one little spot here. It's real stubborn. There we go. That was stubborn for some reason. Now, if you do use heat, keep in mind it's going to be super hot. And you don't want to do this if you've been running it. You want to wait for this muffler to cool off. Anyway, that's basically what your screen should look like. I don't know if you can see that very well. You should be able to see right through it. So, like I said, she was a little dirty, but that's not what was wrong with this one here. And just shove her back in there. And a lot of people just take that screen out completely. Man, you really shouldn't do it. I mean, just clean it out. Well, you shouldn't do it because it does what it says. Is it keeps any kind of flamage or anything that may exit the combustion chamber from shooting out the exhaust. And I know some guys that own some shops, and they say they're actually required to replace them. I guess it's illegal for them to take the screens out. You either have to clean them, or they have to either clean them or replace them. Alright, viewers, I'm back. I had to take a quick break because my hearing aid batteries were beeping. Okay, I go change my batteries. Alright, let's get this thing back together. Yeah, I say about the spark, back to the spark arrestor. I've had some people holler at me about their machines not working right and bogging down real bad, and I've had them excuse me, I've had them in here in the shop with me, and I've told them, hey, let me show you something. And we take that apart, and they're like, oh man, I wish I'd known it was that easy. I wouldn't have bothered you. I'm like, well, if you don't know, you don't know. So what I do, I try to help people. And if they bring it here and it's something super simple like that to fix, then they don't have to worry about taking it to a mower shop and, you know, spending $100 or whatever it is now. I know most places are about $75 to $100 an hour for labor, and they'll charge you 1 hour labor for this. And the carburetor I put on is from this Hypa. That's the same brand I put on that made a previous video on a power auger. And yeah, I mean, for, you know, an off brand, she pretty much just fired right up. So I haven't had any trouble out of it. And I think I mentioned in another video, you know, they actually advertise, but I mean, I guess that doesn't mean because you have commercial that you make quality parts. But you know, why would a company spend all that money in marketing and just to sell junk parts? So, well, I guess everybody does that, even the name brand people, even some of this steel and anything anymore. It's all this stuff's all garbage anymore. Everything always falls apart. They don't last. And anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and now that I got this all buttoned up, I'm gonna go ahead, take her outside, and actually I'll probably, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll fire it up in here. We'll see what happens. All right, I decided to fire it up in here. Let's see what happens. Well, there you have it, viewers. Like I said, things like this are very simple to do. Yeah, I think he's going to be very happy with it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to test it out here in the yard and do some weeding out here, make sure she's going to stay running. But yeah, sounds good. I'd say that spark arrestor was just kind of a bonus thing. Usually a symptom of that is when you hit the trigger, she just bogs. Like she just does not want to get up to full RPM. So always check that. It's like I said, it's a very common thing with these 2-cycle engines, because like I said, you've got oil inside that gas that's always being burned. And then depending on how you mix your fuel too, because I like to do a 40-to-1, a little heavier on the oil, because you got to remember these things run extreme RPMs and they run hot. So that's why I like to mix just a little bit of extra oil in my stuff. So I know a lot of them recommend 50-to-1, but like I said, I just do the 40. But anyway, that's it for this video. Hope this was helpful for someone. If it was, like, subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.